What's happening?
Welcome back.
Episode 5, Manitoba Power with D.
And T.
Right on.
There we go.
We did it.
Jeez, we're catching on good here.
I don't know. Nobody's watching anyways.
Yeah, we're cranking out the views.
Yeah.
She's building up.
We're building it up.
Mm-hmm.
So 4 episodes deep. Just like last time. I don't remember what we talked about.
Last time, the last episode was a pretty in-depth, the Keystone breakdown.
Right.
Of
yes.
all of it.
How could I forget about Keystone?
How could you forget about it? I'm not going to let you forget. I'll keep bringing it up. And then we talked about Commonwealths coming to Manitoba.
Yes, right.
Yeah,
That's
big
exciting.
one there.
Yeah.
And yeah, so we'll kind of build off that. With the Keystone, we'll talk about finally, so this one's coming out. I know you're watching this.
February 3rd.
Yeah, that's for sure happening.
Okay. No edit this time?
Yeah, no edit. Yeah. That was very passive. You couldn't even tell it wasn't me, hey? Yeah. So this will be coming out right before. No. I'm going to have to edit it because this is coming out after Breakhouse.
This is after Breakhouse.
Damn it.
Episode 4 would be next week, I guess.
Yeah, you already watched it. You already watched episode 4.
Yeah.
That was the 27th. This is coming out on February 3rd. Yeah, of course.
Perfect.
Yeah. So right after Brickhouse. So what a stellar meet.
Yes.
That was such a good meet. We had a proposal on the platform. There was 110 GL point lift.
What?
Yeah, it was a crazy meet, right?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. Are you a space-time traveler?
Yeah. I have my predictions.
Those are your predictions.
Yeah.
My prediction is, I don't know, I'll be there.
Mm-hmm.
Not competing.
Well, I'm speaking of it like we were already there.
But we're not there.
But that's how fast that we're bumping out these episodes.
Goodness.
Yeah.
We're time travelers.
Yeah. But yeah, before we do a summary of Brickhouse, we did have a meet back in December.
Yes, we did.
That was Total Fort.
It was totally awesome.
And it was totally awesome, totally fortified.
Yeah. Yeah, just like my milk. And my
Totally fortified.
and my bones.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
Total fortification. How many lifters do we have? 56? Did it hit the cap?
Yeah, there was 34 in session 1 and then 21 in session 2.
So 55, just shy of the cap, I guess. Sometimes people don't show up, maybe. Yeah, I think there was a couple no-shows on the weigh-ins, if I remember correctly. These meets generally have a cap of 56 lifters, and that's usually 2 14-lifter flights, right, in each session. So something like that happened. I think they had 3 flights in session 1, 2 flights in session 2.
Yep.
And,
yeah, because there's males.
Males in the morning?
Males in the morning, females in the afternoon.
Yeah. And I remember this is talking about how there was some equipped lifters in this meet.
Yep.
Bench only. So, new venue. This meet is an MPA-sanctioned, MPA-run meet. So that means all the money raised goes back into the organization. It's not independently run. Like, for instance, the meet that I put on, the one, Keystone, both those events are independently run. Total Fortification was run by MPA, so that means it's like a fundraising kind of thing for the organization. So all the money raised goes back into it for anything that you guys pay in terms of registration, sponsorship, photography. That all goes back into the MPA.
Yeah.
So,
which we had a good amount. The last AGM, I believe, was in November. Was it AGM? And we discussed that, like the new warm-up racks that we got. Yeah. So everything that the lifters are paying, they're getting a much-needed upgrade for like warm-up equipment and stuff like that. 4
warm-up stations is nice to have.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So we used to be jockeying for 2 racks or 1 rack back in the day. So it's nice to be able to have space and equipment.
Yeah.
This venue, what did you think about it?
It was good. It was very well spread out. I think it's just kind of it was at Dakota, the Dakota Community Club.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a ton of space. It was in the gym, in the back part of the gym there, and I think there's just challenges of you don't really know what happens at a gym, like at a big gym area like that. So turned out that there was a volleyball tournament that day, which brought up a lot of challenges, but I really liked it. How about you?
Yeah, I think parking might have been an issue for some of my athletes. Like I remember like trying to get them to weigh in and stuff, and they're like, I can't find a parking spot. I'm like,
just park in front of the fire hydrant, risk
leave
it.
your car. I'll move it if I have to. Go weigh in. Like, but yeah, there's always challenges at different venues, and I think this one had fewer challenges than in the past. Last year we had Total Fortification. Was it in Portage last year?
Yeah.
Right?
And that was like, I think right before, the day before the road was closed.
Yeah.
Like the highway was closed.
It was a big blizzard and stuff. So, every venue has different challenges, but also different benefits. So this one wasn't bad. So.
Yeah.
Cool. So I guess moving on to some of the highlights. We're going to talk about some of the lifters. I guess we could talk about Rodrigo. First time meet. He trains here at One Family Fitness with one of our coaches, Tony. He's from Chile, I believe. And big kid for, I think he's 15. And he's a 93 kg sub-junior. He was into this meet. He was injured, so he definitely would have won. I think there was 2 93 kg sub-juniors, if I remember correctly. But they had to pull back on his squat and his deadlift. But he did well. I think he still went 9 for 9, right?
Yep, 9 for 9 meet.
Not a terrible GL, 63, and a good total of 487.5 for a first meet. That's pretty good, but I know that he's definitely closer to 600 plus kgs, and you'll see that at his next meet.
He's gatekeeping.
Yeah. Was this enough for the qualifying total?
Oh yeah.
So
the sub junior for 93 is, I believe, 385.
Oh, so he's good. Yeah. So I'm sure he'll let loose at provincials if he's not hurt. Just hope that at that age you bounce back pretty quick.
Yep.
And I look forward to seeing what he can do, because for sure this kid's a beast and he's going to be unstoppable at 93 for sure.
Yeah, and he's 15, so he's got a few more years of sub-junior.
Yeah, I know.
Letting loose.
Yeah.
We got the Riley Breisky 2.0.
Yes, for sure. Like, this kid is a monster. So
good stuff.
Whether he can stay at 93.
That's going to be the challenge. Did he cut down to 93?
I don't think he cut down, but he's just a big dude. Like, he's, if you're over 200 pounds at 15, like...
he's going to be a 120 plus.
I know. Well, that's what I mean. He's probably 6 feet tall, so... Yeah, perfect. Okay.
There we go. Then we got, for some of these, we'll have some honorable mentions that maybe didn't have a 9 for 9 meet, but I think what we talked about the first one is that's kind of, it can be a goal for, I think it's a great goal at like a local meet to go 9 for 9, to hit every lift. And it's a great goal to have at a national or international competition, because if you go 9 for 9 at the bigger meets, that usually corresponds with a placement.
Yeah.
Like a perfect day.
Yeah, perfect day for sure.
Is going to have to match up. Not to say that that's necessary, but going like a 7 for 9 and getting podium is still definitely possible.
Yeah.
But if you go 9 for 9 and you have one of those just highlight reel days, it's going to set you up for the biggest success. And then at a local meet, so a lot of these guys where it's their first meet ever, going 9 for 9, having a great experience, getting used to the rules, that's a big part of it too.
Yeah.
Like I've had lifters that still go 6 for 9 from like jumping command, 7 for 9 for missing stuff, and that's totally like that's normal too. Every lifter's not going to be perfect their entire lifting career. But yeah, so our next one that went 9 for 9 was Nikki Cho. Sure. But yeah, his first meet, not another sub-junior, but an 83 kilo junior, and his GLs was 62.9, and they ended up totaling 452.5.
Yeah.
And as a junior, for the provincials, what's the provincial one for that? It's an 83. So it's at 475 as an 83. So he's just missing out of that.
One more meet. So
if he's doing the one, keep an eye on him.
Yeah.
If he does the one, it seems like a 9 for 9 meet for him to gain 22.5 kilos. Pretty
doable.
Pretty reasonable. Yeah. I can't really remember his performance all that much of what he had in the tank, but if it's anything like our boy Rodrigo, then maybe we'll see him come back at the 1, then see him in provincials.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And just see him kind of move on from there.
Awesome.
All right, who's next?
Well, we got Selmar, and everybody should know who Selmar is by now. I think he's at every meet.
Yeah, he does everything. The kid doesn't stop.
Yeah, like, he doesn't stop.
Yeah.
Like, we've seen him 83, 93. Has he competed at 74? Or he tried to compete at 74?
He's tried a couple times at 74. Down. I think his first couple meets, maybe he was a 74. But then I think he's just a good example of as you train the last few years, he's been training, competing.
Yeah.
He's gained muscle, he's gained strength, and then that cut down to 74 is just a lot harder.
It's just challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But he was 83. And
best performance yet.
Best performance of his life. So I hope for his sake, Selmar, stay at 83.
Yeah, stay at 83 or just grow into 93. Like
yeah.
Right? Don't worry about getting smaller.
Yeah. Right? Keep on, because this one, like a 90 GL performance.
That's huge. That's elite. Once you're over 90 as a male, you're basically elite, I think. So.
Yeah, and then 635 total.
Which is huge, respectable.
Monsters. Yeah.
What does he need? Well, provincial, that's good, but I know once we go to the next,
the regional,
the national and regional gets kind of out of hand. 83. Yeah. Is he open?
Yeah.
Yeah, 687. That's what you need for nationals.
Yeah.
And the regionals are very small, 535.
Yeah, so he'll be
at Westerns.
Yeah. He'll be at Westerns, and then to have him at...
Do not cut to 74.
No, he's going to hear this. Yeah. He's like, I'll just cut down to 74. Yeah. Let's do it.
What is it? Yeah, 74 is, what is it, 5 to 80 for nationals? Yeah.
Oh, what? 625?
Oh, 625. What did I read?
What the hell are you
that's
doing?
the other side.
Oh.
This is the real side.
Oh.
The real deal. 74, 632.
He's there.
He's there.
Uh-oh.
Well, yeah. Can he hit this total at 74?
Yeah.
With only one leg or whatever he's got to do to get down.
To cut it off, whatever it does to make weight. So stay at 83. He's a beast. That was an awesome 9-for-9 meet, and just all around a great performance on all of his lifts, and as well with Brickhouse just happening.
Yeah.
So, we're going to have to need some post-production after this one. But with Brickhouse just happening, I just want to highlight that 2 years ago, him starting off and kind of lifters, maybe newer lifters listening to this, seeing, or maybe first time competing, and they're like, man, I got 60 GLs. All these guys are hitting 90s.
Yeah.
Brickhouse 2 years ago, Selmar got a 480 total and had a 66.75 GL.
Yeah, 2 year. That's a massive improvement.
Massive improvement, and just to see that you stick with it, compete as much as Selmar did every single meet. The strength and the results will continue to follow, and you will continue to progress. He's a warrior.
Yeah, 24 GL in 2 years.
Nuts.
I didn't put that on in 15 years. I think I've gone up 5 GL.
Yeah, maybe you just need to keep cutting down and then play the game.
No.
Play the game.
No, sir. No, sir. So next, Jeremy Martin. I don't know much about Jeremy. Do you know Jeremy?
Yeah, I know fairly well. Yeah. I've seen him compete for a while now. And he had a great meet.
Yeah. So 9-for-9.
9-for-9 meet is good.
510 at 83 open.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
The improvement is what is kind of shocking. 22.5 kgs he's added to his total.
Yeah.
That's a huge improvement.
Yeah, and he's competed quite a bit. And, I think kind of every meet it's kind of he's a guy that I think he's recently been more 83, but he has been at the 74 kilo weight class, and he's a pretty tall dude. So that's too, for him to kind of fill out that 83 kilo class now is going to be more advantage for him in terms of that total just continuing to skyrocket.
Yeah.
And in a couple of years he could definitely be at 93 and just keep hammering it out and improving that total. But yeah, 70 GL points is kind of his best, I believe, to date. So
right on.
It's great to see that. And then a couple guys that we've talked about a little bit.
Yeah, we've definitely mentioned
some honorable mentions, because we kind of alluded to it in episode 1 with these two characters here. But yeah, what's the first guy we want to kind of discuss?
I guess Justin, who we've mentioned a lot, is essentially the second best lifter in Manitoba now.
Who's first?
I guess Monica would be first.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So
yeah.
He'd be the second best lifter in Manitoba history under Monica right now. So he's I guess he'd be the second male to hit the 100 GL, because I think Eric hit it first.
Yeah.
But with a 678 total.
Nuts.
303 kg deadlift.
Yeah.
Which is unbelievable. And he went 8 for 9 for 2.5 kilo increase. So not every meet you're going to go up by 20 kilos, but even.
Oh wait,
is that right?
So he
missed by 2.5.
He missed. So he missed 2.5 kilos on his squat.
Oh, I see.
So I kind of just did that as like my predictors for like,
I got
hey, if the next one we're talking about, if he went 9 for 9, I mean, you never. You don't want to play a what if game of if I hit this, what happened? But I just like to see it in terms of he just missed his third squat for a 2.5 kilo increase.
Yeah, I got you.
And then, but yeah, improved totally, or improved his totally at totally forward.
Oh, that's totally awesome. Yeah. He fortified his total.
He totally fortified it. Yeah, but and then bringing it back. This is he's definitely one of those guys, as maybe one can imagine, with him being now the strongest MPA lifter or strongest male in MPA history currently. His first meet was actually at that same Total Fort.
Yeah, he
got totally fortified in 2021.
There you go.
And he totaled 605, still a massive GL of 89
for a first meet.
For a first meet, that's incredible. But yeah, 3 years later, he's now in the history books.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
And I'm gonna let you say Eric's last name.
Tangdekorn.
Thank to corn.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Yeah, so that was a tough one. Yeah. I need to talk to Eric about it.
Eric, change your last name.
Eric, yeah. Give us the syllables here.
Yeah.
But yeah, the first MPA male over 100 GL points.
Congrats.
Great, yeah. He pulled it right before Justin. So he was the first one.
That's even better.
Yeah. Even better. Take that, Justin. Yeah, I'm sure Eric's pleased with that. Yeah, but yeah, and he went 7 for 9, missed 7.5 kilos. So, and he missed his last squat, and maybe it was his last bench, I believe, too. So yeah, in his next meet. I'm not sure when that will be. Probably nationals. Actually, I'm not sure if he's going to.
Well, let's pull it up. Nationals.
Yeah, I can't remember off the top of my head, but I don't believe so.
Well, we'll circle back.
Yeah, but yeah, his next meet, looking to see some big numbers increase, and hopefully they keep jockeying for that top position overall in MPA.
We're coming for you.
Yeah. The 105 GL points. Dino's hunting.
Not going. Not happening.
And then I'll continue on.
We got girls now?
Yeah, with the females.
All right.
There was, I believe there was also equipped bench. Because I believe Brock competed in the second session as well.
Right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
Brock
there was
Dean. Yeah, Dean. Yeah.
Dean. Yeah.
Dean Smith.
Yeah, and so yeah, there was equipped bench as well in the second session, but there was 21 lifters. So again, we had 5 9 for 9 lifters. And it's good to see, kind of like similar to the males, it was some first-time lifters, but there was also some other lifters that have competed more often that still went 9 for 9. And you can see how there's also, just like kind of what I alluded to before, of having that good experience first of all, for your first meet, having a good experience going 9 for 9. But then as you go, as you get more into that lifting career, and having a 9 for 9 meet means a great increase in your total personal best of GLs as well. Yeah. Even though that may not always be the case, but then you can kind of see how when that does happen and that situation happens where you can truly kind of showcase your strength and have a great day, that how it kind of works out. But yeah, who's the first female that we want to talk about?
Let me take a look. Out of 21 lifters, we got Shayna. Right, that's how you say it? Shayna Sagar?
Yeah.
Yeah. So 325 total, that's massive.
Nuts.
Increased it by 20 kilos, that's even more massive. That's huge. 77.67 GL points, so she added 4 in 3 months. That is impressive. And these, we keep mentioning people like with their first meet 2021. Like, that's only a couple of years, right? Yeah. Like, our first meets were 10 years ago. Like, these kids are improving so fast.
Yeah.
Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, so. She almost two-folded.
Yeah.
Or she's going to two-fold her total, because the first was 202, and she had 51 GL points. And then, now at this point, probably around that 2-3 year down the road, 325 and 77
Yeah,
GLs.
And to be competitive, these girls are north of 400 kgs, right? Like, so like that's just the next thing you're going to see from these girls is high 300, 400 kg plus total. So yeah. And she's very young, very new, so that's just what I expect will happen down the road.
Yeah. Cool. And so for some first-time lifters, Jillian Jones, and with this one, she was 84 plus open, totaled 312 and a half, a great starting point, a fantastic starting point, and having that 58.89 GL points her first meet. So then I think that kind of next one down the road, kind of what we talked about of that like benchmark of you can chase down a GL point increase, or maybe have that as like a side quest for lifting, and then now you have that benchmark of Jillian could like meet with her coach or kind of just write down, okay, I got 312 total in order to qualify for provincials as an 84 plus open. That's 370. So then kind of game plan, okay, there's that kind of benchmark, there's that gap of training, and that's just kind of another goal in terms of I can't remember exactly what her performance looked like, but maybe that's one to watch for the one that she competes again, and because that's the one is about that 3 month, maybe even 4 month. Yeah, 4 months, basically 4 months. 4 months. Yeah. So you could see these lifters hit the provincial total at the one, come on down. Yeah. And then provincials happening in May. Yeah. So it's a great spread of meets. A lot of opportunity for these lifters to kind of see that it's at that point it's 62 and a half. Right?
Extra kg? Yeah. Yeah, I'd love to see that. Yeah.
62 and a half. Jillian, let's see it. Let's make it happen. Come on, Jillian.
Man. CCS will be there.
Yeah.
No, that's doable for sure.
Yeah. And
especially as an 84 plus, like a 300 kg total, like that's a good total, but like 84 plus, there's a lot more. Yeah, she's got a lot there. So, and again, for her first meet, for her to do that, there was probably some feeling out of the platform and stuff like that. I would imagine for her thirds, there's probably ample room for her to kind of hit the gas a little bit more. So, and now that she kind of has a first meet under her belt, she'll be able to see, okay, where exactly that throttle point is, and kind of maybe at the one or in the summer or in the fall, empty that tank a little bit more, whatever the plan is. Yeah. All right. The next one we got is Bree Cron. She was an 84 open. Her second meet, she totaled 277 and increased her total by 12.5 kilos and 2 GL points in 2 months. That's huge.
So that's a great increase of a 2 month, pretty much back-to-back meets. Yeah. That's a tough, like an 8-week spread of potentially peaking, tapering down, and then increasing volume again.
That's huge.
Yeah. So, that for an open is
300.
345.
345.
Yeah. So she's got a little bit more room to kind of to make up here. But again, that's something that like kind of with the past lifters of whether it's 2 years, 3 years, 4 years of just sticking with it, keep competing, and just it's easy enough. Just keep getting stronger.
Just get stronger.
Yeah,
that's pretty much the answer to every problem.
Everybody, just get stronger. You'll hit the totals eventually. Just keep getting stronger. But yeah, just stick with it. And kind of, I always like looking at year per year of a lifter of that 12.5 to 25 kilo year after year. If you're continuing to hit that, that's incredible.
Yeah, I think it's doable. Like I'm still increasing my total 10 to 20 kilos a year.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so it's doable, even for us old guys. So these kids are young, their bodies are still growing. First meets, like we're going to see a lot of bigger and bigger totals for sure. So
some monster jumps. And then maybe before we get to our female athlete of the year again, we'll kind of summarize Nicole Carta.
52 kgs open.
Yeah. So
237, like that's respectable. Was this her first meet?
I believe so.
Yeah, I think so. Nicole, 52 open. Like 237.5 is pretty good. I think it's for that class because I have athletes at that weight class. The qualifying standard is 270, I believe. 52 open. No, 252. So you got about 15 kgs to put on your total for provincials. And but a 61 kg is pretty good for a first meet for sure. Anything over 60, I think, is good for a first meet.
Yep.
And like 237.5 kgs is pretty beastly for somebody as small as 52 kg. Like that's just over 100 pounds.
That's right. Yeah, and like to put it in perspective, we haven't broken down any numbers in terms of what they lifted, but like that's an 80 kilo squat. Yeah. So that's around that like 180 as a 100-pound female or 100-pound human.
Well, this is
like to lift 180. That's like
5 times body weight total almost. So
yeah,
it's pretty good.
So that's really good. And then in the other perspective, a 115 deadlift. So that's like that 255. That 250-ish range. So if you go to like any gym, pretty much any commercial gym, you see like kind of any lifter or anybody really pulling 2 plates. But you're like, okay, they're a relatively strong human. Then you see a 100-pound female do that. You're like, what is happening?
Yeah.
So
I think, that just in general, I think powerlifting girls are just stronger than regular gym bros.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But, then getting back into another powerlifting girl that she lifts a little bit. She does all right in terms of the powerlifting sphere with Manitoba Powerlifting.
She's essentially the best lifter in our history, Manitoba history. Strongest person
in MPA history.
Crazy. She should get a T-shirt or something.
She should. Take that.
Wrap your car. Put that on your car.
Yeah. She gets the wrap. Yeah.
Custom license plate.
Monica Gayot once again. And a 9-for-9 meet, and what really kind of brought that to me is, as I mentioned in the past, in terms of 9-for-9s and kind of just a performance aspect of her having a 9-for-9 meet at an international and national stage, that's really going to have all those numbers kind of correspond together for her to be on that podium and kind of knock down that one spot. All right. Nationals predictions. So with her, I did kind of
top 3 for sure.
Yeah, I really want to see her top 3, and that's a fun thing. And it's what I think is kind of interesting now is when I think probably like 4 or 5 years ago when you went to nationals, there wouldn't be podcasts talking about the lifters. There wouldn't be as much social media around like the training aspect of the lifters posting as much. Yeah. So when you showed up, you a lifter potentially could only know what their training has been.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't really know what their competitors are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas now, I mean, we have a podcast that we're kind of talking about every lifter.
Like, that could be a way for us to get new listeners. We send it to all of Monica's competition.
Yeah, you see this? Watch out for her. She's coming. Yeah. But so, and like in terms of her competitors too, she had that entry total that was, or her listed total was the previous total.
Yeah.
And then she competed at Total Fort and got her higher total. I think it was at I want to say it was
436.
Something around
The 430 range.
And her competitors also had an increase in their totals, but like just to see how it's going to play out, she's taken them down before in terms of was that North Americans where she won that top spot, and I can definitely see a very interesting meet coming down at nationals.
No, it's very cool because on social media I got tagged in something recently, and it's like battles to watch, right? And like they'll list like her class. What is her class? 63? No,
57.
57.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like 57 open, like top 5 to watch because they're this close. And then there's different guys on social media will have different lists, right?
Yeah.
You're getting tagged and all this stuff. It's like, watch this one. Like this is a battle to watch. The 83 opens, the 93 opens, like, right? So it's a lot different than a few years ago. You show up like you wouldn't know who's there.
Yeah. Or it's from like the previous nationals where it's like, oh hey, you're here again.
Yeah, exactly, right? So
whereas now you kind of know, oh, his training, this guy, I don't know, I saw him pull something kind of funky 3 weeks ago. Yeah,
that's my secret is I'll just put up training footage from last year.
There it is.
Right?
Your first competition.
Like, oh, I'm so injured right now.
Yeah, the tarp off video of your first meet.
No, it's cool. Like even myself going into nationals, like the guys that I'm up against, and it's going to be close. Like they're posting their training too, right?
Yeah.
So like you get to see what's going on, and it's just a different perspective and a different like feeling going into meets because like you're literally talking to your competition, right? Like I'm friends with the guys in my class.
Yep.
And like, sure, I want to beat them, but like at the same time, like you're rooting for them as well. So.
Yeah, and that's definitely that conflict. Is like after the day's done, being like, yeah, I thought you were gonna pull this.
Yes,
like your training was going so well. Yeah, it just didn't happen today.
Yeah, it won't happen.
Yeah. All the videos from last year, it was like, man, that 200 kilo deadlift is flying. He's just ranking on that 200 kilo pull. Training's feeling good.
He's got a mask on.
Yeah.
A video from COVID.
Yeah, we'll stick in the gym today. But Total Fort. Definitely another cornerstone kind of event for MPA.
Just not to be confused with Cornerstone.
Not to be confused with Cornerstone the gym. Shout out. First time's always free Cornerstone barbell. Yeah.
Oh, he mentioned it again. That one cost you.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, we're keeping track.
Yeah. We're
keeping track. But that was our summary of Total Fort.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, we summarized like 20% of the competitors. So, but
be in the top 20 and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, be in the top 20 or go 9 for 9.
Go 9 for 9.
Yeah, that's how you get the shout outs here.
Pod. Mm-hmm. First one's free.
Yeah. And I think what we'll end up doing is early March, once we have kind of the list confirmed for the one, having like predictions.
Yeah, predictions for the one. We'll do a recap of Brick House, and we'll just keep you guys informed about what's going on and who to watch and up and comers and all that fun stuff.
Yeah, and especially like that'll be kind of right after nationals too.
Yeah,
we'll be putting some more stuff out at nationals, so keep on track of that because we'll probably be putting episodes out every damn day.
That'd be great. Let's do it.
But yeah, so that was episode 5, Manitoba Power
with D
and T.
It's caught in the crossfire.